What happened when your mother-in-law called you a gold digger in front of everyone? So last weekend, my husband and I went out to dinner with his parents. I was already nervous because my mother-in-law has never liked me. From day one, she's called me opportunistic because I didn't come from the same cushy background her family has. To be clear, I have my own career, my own savings, and I met her son because we happened to work in the same building. But in her eyes, I'm nothing but a gold digger who somehow snatched up her baby. We get seated at this really beautiful restaurant in town, one I've been going to for years. The second we sit down, my mother-in-law starts her digs. "Oh, this place is a little pricey, isn't it?" she says, loud enough for the tables around us to hear. "Good thing my son is paying, since I know you probably couldn't afford it on your own salary." My husband tried to change the subject, but she wasn't letting up. When the waiter came to take our orders, she smirked at me and said, "I guess you'll want the lobster, right? Gotta get your money's worth when you're spending someone else's cash." The waiter looked super uncomfortable. I just smiled politely and ordered pasta. But my mother-in-law wasn't finished. While waiting for the food, she leaned across the table and in this fake sweet voice asked, "So, tell me, when you and my son got married, did you make sure to sign a prenup? You know, to protect his assets? Because you never know these days. Women get clever." My jaw nearly dropped. My husband started to say something, but she cut him off with a laugh and said, "Oh, don't be mad, honey. I just want to make sure your hard-earned money doesn't disappear." I could feel the people at the nearby tables glancing over. She wanted me humiliated. I told myself, don't give her the reaction she wants. But then she crossed the line. The food had just been served when she picked up her wine glass and said, "Well, cheers to my son for carrying all the weight in this marriage. Without him, I don't even know how you'd survive." That was it. I opened my mouth, ready to finally defend myself, when I heard a familiar voice behind me. "Funny you should say that." Everyone at the table turned. My dad was standing there, in his chef's jacket. "Dad?" I said, shocked. He smiled at me and patted my shoulder before turning to the table. "Sorry to interrupt. I usually don't step out of the kitchen, but she brought you here so we can meet each other." Mil frowned. "Kitchen?" My dad extended his hand. "I'm the owner here. I started this restaurant 20 years ago. My daughter grew up running around these tables." The color drained from her face. Now she can't say anything. I nearly burst out laughing. My dad kept it polite, but there was steel in his voice. "So, when you suggest she can't afford to be here, or that she's only with your son for money, you might want to think twice. She doesn't need anyone's wallet." Mil looked like she wanted the ground to swallow her whole. My husband finally spoke up, glaring at his mother. "I told you to stop insulting her. Now do you see how ridiculous you sound?" Mil stammered something about a misunderstanding, but it was too late. Dinner after that was awkward as hell. She barely touched her food, and my dad, bless him, made a point to send over a bottle of champagne on the house before retreating back to the kitchen.